Hey, what's going on? It's Isaac back with another video. This video gonna be real quick. I just want to talk to y'all about what I've what I saw in the news, and this story is about two volunteer EMTs getting robbed at gunpoint, going going or responding to a call that they had gotten for a young child that was having difficulty breathing. And then once they got there, they found out that the call was bogus. Now I'm gonna share with y'all the news information that the news that put out there is from Pix 11 News. I'm gonna show y'all that, and then I'm gonna, you know, give you my take on it after it's finished. But this is the report. Just give me a second.
Victims after two EMTs are robbed at gunpoint here at the Seth Low houses in Brownsville Monday night. They were responding to a 911 call about a child having difficulty breathing. But once they got on an elevator here,
they're met by a gunman standing at the elevator. The gunman robs them of their radio, which I believe is valued at almost $8,000. Then he robs them of a tablet and a medic bag. And then he punches all the buttons on the elevator so that they can't follow him down.
Community advocate Tony Herbert tells Pix 11 what happened to the EMTs stems from a citywide problem.
Gun violence is really a scourge in our community. We're allowing criminals to get back out on the street that are recommitting these crimes before the police officers' reports, the ink on their reports even dry.
Gun violence is at an all-time high. Shootings are up 95% year to date. And police say attacks on first responders are becoming more common. This EMS supervisor describes the dangers. We are concealing his identity.
I've been in those situations. You don't know what's behind that corner, and then you're met with violence. In this case, a gun pointed at you. It's a lot. Working in the Bronx, feared for my life. I had a patient put me in a chokehold.
The two EMTs volunteer for Kingsbrook Jewish Medical Center. They were not hurt, but it turns out the call they were responding to was bogus. Police are now looking into whether or not they were set up. In response to all of this, the FDNY sent out a message to its members urging them to be more vigilant. In the meantime, police are looking for that gunman. If you have any information on his whereabouts, call Crime Stoppers. The number's right there. It's 800-577-TIPS. In East Flatbush, Nicole Johnson, Pix 11 News.
Okay, y'all. So y'all heard it. Two EMTs, two volunteer EMTs from Kingsbrook Jewish Medical Center was robbed at gunpoint, responded to a call of a child having difficulty breathing. Now, EMTs are very vital to the medical field, because they are like the doctors, they're like the physicians, they're like the nurses, but in the street. And these are people that save people's lives. They put their lives on the line for a living. Whether they're getting a paycheck for it or whether they're volunteering, as you heard. So my thing is, they were on their way to a call, which they don't know if it's somebody playing around or if it's serious. But to them, it's just another day at the office. It's just another day, like they would do every day. But they respond to a call, they'll go, and they respond within the time that they are able to make it there. But just imagine you are an EMT coming to save somebody's life, but you don't really know the seriousness or the lack thereof of the call. So you just go in there thinking that, okay, well, there's a child that's having difficulty breathing. Let me go and see about him or her. let me try to do the best that I can do with the training that I have been given, and let me put my skills and my training to use, to the test, to potentially save this child's life. But imagine when you get there, you're held up at gunpoint, and not only held up at gunpoint, but you're robbed. See, now, I know that this is a volunteer EMS service, so I'm not sure, if they're backed by the union, if they have a union, but these are people that they're just volunteering. They're giving a service to the people of New York City. And I remember I mentioned in my video, one of my videos that I had did, I think it was titled "Life Will Never Be the Same," Part 1 and 2. But if you guys haven't checked that out, please check that out. I know the video's a little long because I could be sometimes a little long-winded. Y'all forgive me for that, but I was basically talking about the job cuts and everything that could potentially happen. And the mayor had mentioned specifically that with the FDNY, that there could be job cuts coming in the fire department, the EMS department, so that's paramedics, it's EMTs, firefighters, dispatchers potentially, chiefs, supervisors, whatever position. And I said that could be detrimental to what's going on because, with the pandemic and everything, they were instructed not to come to a call if it wasn't a real emergency. So they were basically telling you that you were on your own. And God forbid, one of your family members or a friend of yours or a neighbor of yours, went into distress, having a heart attack or stroke or, cardiac arrest, whatever, they were instructed not to resuscitate you. So it's like, okay, you call these people up, they go. They don't know what to expect until they get there. Can you imagine how afraid they were going there? Because they don't know if this child is gonna make it or not. They don't know what's wrong with him or her. And then to come to get there, and then to find out that it's not only a fake call, but you get robbed and you get held up at gunpoint. Can you imagine the psychological aspect of it? They probably gonna need counseling, man. They probably gonna be replaying this forever in their minds, because things like that happen to people, it have a tendency to stay with you for a long time. And if you don't deal with it, you're gonna have a lot of issues, a lot of problems. This could be something that they could be thinking about. This could be something that triggers them off. They may or may not return to work for quite some time behind that. And these people put their life on the line every day, every single day, not knowing what to expect when they get there. Because you heard the supervisor, he said even for him, he's been attacked by patients. He's been put in chokeholds, and he's been afraid for his life. Working in these different type of areas, these high crime areas where crime is not really attained, like it should be. Because the cops, they feel like they can't do their job. Their job is compromised because, people been screaming defund the police, but when you defund the police, this is what happens. Crime goes up. You defund the police, the cops have this attitude now where they feel like, okay, you want to defund the police, so we're gonna take our time getting to the said emergency, if there is one. Or when we get there, we're not really gonna do nothing because we already got this target on our back. So if we do our job, the way we supposed to carry it out, the way that they said they would when they took that oath, when they got sworn in after graduating from the academy, that they was gonna serve and protect. They feel like they can't do that because of everything, the climate that we're living in right now. But just imagine you don't have no EMTs, that's with these volunteer ambulance services and even the FDNY, across the board. Imagine if they say, you know what, we're not going to a lot of these, crime ridden areas and drug infested areas. They're gonna be on their own. If they call us, we're not gonna answer, we're not gonna come, because we're afraid for our safety. So I just want to call into question, what was the mindset of the person that did this? Because now this is one. Think about it. If your family member, if your friend, your neighbor was in medical distress, like how they claim, whoever called is called in, and you're going there to render aid to this person, but you get robbed of all your essentials, your radio, so you can't contact, your dispatcher, you can't let them know what's going on, your iPad, with all the information, the information that you will put in for the patient, the patient's medical history, what they're allergic to, what kind of health issues that have plagued them, or whatever, top information, like confidential type of information, and your medic bag, the essentials that you would need to work on this person. And imagine somebody takes that away from the people that's coming to help save your family member, your friend, or your neighbor. You be upset, because now that's one less ambulance that's out there with the stuff that they need. So they out there naked. They can't call. They can't use their radio. They can't use their iPad. They can't. They're robbed of their medical equipment. So that's one less ambulance that's going out there with the stuff that they need to potentially save a person's life. And two people that's afraid, probably I don't know if they're gonna quit their job, but it's two people that's afraid, probably not even used to an environment like that. And then if they do go back to work, they're gonna be on edge every time now when they go to these different neighborhoods, because they don't know. And it's crazy because it affects everybody, and people are bored out here. People are really down. People are depressed. People are angry. People are sad. Christmas is coming up. The pandemic. People's been stressed. People haven't been working. They haven't been able to pay their bills. So I figure, to me, when things like these things like this happens, people just do stuff that they wouldn't normally do. They resort to things, as a way of desperation, because for you to steal a radio, which you heard Tony Herbert said is valued at $8,000, so they could potentially sell that off somewhere, and the iPad. I don't know what they would be able to do with the medic bag and the essentials and stuff that you would need, to work on a person, but they may be able to sell that too. Who knows? But it's just crazy, man, because it's like, what would really possess you to do that? Because these people, they're not doing nothing wrong. They just doing their job. They're volunteering. They're not even getting paid. They're giving you a service. They're helping the community out. And for somebody to do that, it's just it's crazy to me. Because these people, like I said, they put a lot on the line. They could potentially go to a scene. They could get shot at. They could get stabbed. Robbed at gunpoint, as you know. It's the uncertainty. So, hey, man, it's ridiculous. But if you like this video, I definitely would appreciate if you like, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know what you think. Leave a comment down in the comment section below, and let me know what you think about the situation. But it's your boy Isaac. I'm out. Peace. Be safe.